we have discussed about the relevance of Sanatan, Dharma or Sanatan principle. I will say there is this Dharma is something which it confuses the Western people, and that Sanatan Dharma, I believe somehow also gets reflected in new education policy of 2020, and because it talks about development of national heritage, ethos, national principles, and variety of other aspects of life, which takes us back to Vedic period. And this is the reality that our system of education, which has always given due importance to these principles since beginning. Even in the first education policy, which was implemented immediately after independence, it talked about three language formula, in gave importance to local presence and local understanding. Similarly, the it got improved in 1961 with change of time, 1968, and then again in the same heritage continued in 1986. But with new advancement, of technology, influence of international, activities, people going local, people and from local, they plan to go, international. So all this thing is taking us to a totally, confused regime. At one point, we are talking about becoming leader, which our new education policy talks about. It has the first thing that I notice, in this point, India, it aims to make India a global knowledge superpower, you know and the name of the ministry has changed from Ministry of Human Resource to Ministry of Education. And third frame, this is third time when the major frame revamp has taken place, and that has also changed the structure of education from 10 plus 2 formula to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. And it has also given importance to Anganwadi, studies at home, at a very younger age, when the child is about to get into kindergarten. So all these points are covered in this new education policy, based on the expertise of our experts. Uh, Dr. Kavita Sharma, who has been principal at Hindu College, Delhi University, and she later on was directed to India International Center. She is a renowned scholar, studied literature, English, and she has also studied in Canada. And there are a variety of other, list. Her website is also there, Kavita Sharma's website. You can go and visit about her achievements that she has done. The most important aspect is that she has been the president of Asian University, which was set up by under SHARK aegis. We have another expert, from our uh, 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 team, and that is Dr. Ravi Kumar Jasar, who is educationist, physicist, passed out from Sainik School, Tilea. And currently he is Vice Chancellor to Amity University, Jharkhand. And he has developed a model of education which he wants to universalize. We will talk about his model also, which perhaps gets aligned with new education policy. And we also have with us our friend Praveen Raghuvanshi ji, who is a technocrat and a Fauji from Navy captain, and then a technical advisor, IT advisor to CDAC Pune, and gold medalist from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. We have with us another, equally important person. He is Wing Commander Alok Sahai, alumni of JNU and also from Air Force, and a very good educationist. He has been giving variety of lectures, motivations, interventions at colleges as well as universities, and on television channels. You have seen him many times. So with this panelist of 4 people, I would like to welcome all my friends as well as people who are watching us. If you have anything to share, kindly do share it in the comment box in the Facebook. Those who are trying to enter into our boardroom, please do not enter. Please go directly there, because it is restricted only for the speakers. So please follow us on Facebook, and if you are watching us, try to spread the word around, share the link to as many people as you can, because today's talk is going to be important for many regions. And one reason is we are talking about nationalism. We are talking about nationalism when there are lots of uncertainties, confusion, and problems, as well as negativity being spread around, variety of conflicts going on, variety of international influence, variety of social media influence, variety of indirect influence, intervention, and whatnot. At the same time, there are a variety of problems that is coming in, especially in terms of rape, crime, and less innovation. These are all problems of emerging India, which is trying to become superpower on paper only. How we are going to implement it is a problem, is a big question. At the same time, we also hear lots of news from villages as well as from small towns, at times bigger towns. Teachers are not able to write, a simple language or simple concepts or simple spelling of simple terms and meanings on the board, blackboard. And those teachers are giving sanskar to our students. How that base will be developed, that's a question mark. Similarly, we have people who are talking more of we as when we are talking about Indian ethos, realities of India, we say that we have always given value to positivity, we have always given to values, sanskar, we have value given to honesty, teamwork, respect for women, respect for elderly, and at the same time the crime against women has increased. Similarly, crime against elderly people and crime against flora and fauna has also increased. So I mean, at the same time, the pollution has also increased. So all these are problems that we are facing currently. So is it telling us that we should leave everything? Corona crisis is again another example of the problems that we humans have created in this beautiful earth. So the destruction, problems, crisis makes us more smart, tells us to do innovations, tells us, makes us more stronger. So in this crisis period, I would like to first invite our friend, a philosopher and guide, Dr. Kavita Sharma, who would like to focus more on heritage and modernism, how it is influencing modernism and how India is receiving this modernism, how this education policy is able to address the challenges as well as the strength that we have currently. You were talking about political will. I guess this, I'm little positive about this regime of Modi ji, which has brought in lots of positivism in implementation stage, but it is not only one person who can do it. It is the babus sitting there who invest more money in traveling and administration for the budget which has been created, and only 30% or 40% passes on, and in between there is a middleman or someone sitting there to divert it into some other direction. So if that kind of if this kind of policy makers and administrators and intermediaries remain, anything you plan, anything, any budget you create, they will eat it like we call it in Hindi, ghoon ke tarah usko barbaad kar denge. और मेरे ख्याल से ऐसा हुआ है भारत में और होता रहा है, एंड ऐसा तब तक होता रहेगा जब तक लोअर लेवल पे, ग्राउंड लेवल पे, बचपन के लेवल पे जब तक हम संस्कार नहीं देंगे बच्चों को. My only contention is, that forget about higher education, forget about research, forget about all this. They are all lofty talks, and research can be imported when everything is being imported. There is nothing wrong in doing it, being a smart user. The more important is creating a pride, self pride in your thought process, which is lacking at some point, I believe. This self motivation, low esteem at village level, college level, people who talk in English, they are given high importance at many points. Why not people talking in Hindi is given more importance? Why that person has a low esteem? हिंदी जब बोलते हैं तो कुंठा आ जाती है बोलते बोलते लोगों को, बहुत लोगों को. I am not against Hindi, neither against English, neither against any other languages. I am a linguist from Spanish and French point of view. Done all my studies in Spanish throughout. My Spanish is far better than English of mine. But the reality is, आप अंग्रेजी पढ़ के अंग्रेजियत में अगर आ जाते हैं, तो same thing happens that 1% of the population, which is or 2% of administration, or 1% of India, which speaks English and has something in hand to give back to system or to Bharatvarsh, to society. That 1% population, before independence, during independence, after independence, have been making law, rules, regulations for 99% of the majority, and that 99% of the majority has not done anything to mold them and divert them for their 99% of population's benefit. They are able to even control politicians. They are even able to control, strong lobbies of, I will say, NGOs who want to do something and contribute to the society. That 1% of Angrejiyat, which was transferred by Macaulay in 1835 in India, that legacy is still continuing. So I believe, can this legacy of this betrayal to our own people by English speaking elite be controlled by this NEP 2020? I would like to welcome Raman sir to please give a talk on how we can understand this dichotomy that exists in our system, and what are the ways that can come out, and maybe at primary level teachers need to be trained in a proper way on a large scale. That you were talking to me once about training them in English or training them in Hindi or whatever form. My fundamentals are, or the policymakers should aim at creating pride in our heritage, in our education system, in our ethos, which perhaps needs a complete rehaul.